While scouring some of the sales online, I found an older tool that Metabo HPT makes I didn't know about. This is a side lock-on switch, variable speed die grinder. I thought this was pretty cool, although it's very large, very similarly sized to the Dewalt, although the Dewalt is a variable speed trigger model, which I absolutely love this guy. We used to use it a lot more when we were working on older cars, but this dude here is about the same. It's a little more heavy duty. All my side lock-on switches are plug-in models. For how much we use them, I thought I'd just upgrade to this little guy. Check it out, and we'll go over it for you. First looking here, I now notice I have a die grinder problem. I keep this Dewalt on hand constantly to just clearance things. This bit is in it almost all the time. Absolutely love this trigger model. If you're looking at something like this, it has a slide switch, so you can go up to 10,000 RPM, up to 1750, and up to 2500. This dude absolutely rocks. It's easy to use. The only thing I hate about it is this safety switch that you have to push over in order to pull the trigger. When you're in a tight place, that sucks. But other than that, this thing is so controllable, so easy to use. I absolutely love it. Now, Milwaukee changed the game when they came up with these M12s, and I'll tell you, I cannot live without this, but I keep my thread fixer type thing on here. I don't know what it's called, but basically it's a grinder. I can go around and fix the threads on any bolt. And I also have the smaller one if I'm working on a smaller bolt or a little bit tighter threads. And I have a coupler in here that I can change, or an adapter, I guess, that I can take this 1/4 inch collet down to an 1/8 inch collet. I can drop this guy in and I can rock and roll. I'll put a link to these in the description. Just absolutely invaluable. You have to have them. And then again, we came out with the right angle, which Milwaukee's right angle is also nice for certain jobs. I use this mostly to take off gaskets, but this is the roll-lock stuff that you can just screw on and off. You can get different Scotch-Brite pads that screw on here. You can change it up to anything you want, and that makes this tool just perfect. I absolutely love this guy. But when it comes to larger things in the lock-on side switch, when we look at this guy, we use it mostly for sanding a little bit. I'm going to be going in, cleaning up areas where we might weld that I can't get an angle grinder into. Something I'm going to paint that I need to get the rust off of. We're in Michigan, rust is everywhere. And again, more wire wheels. I usually keep things just set up. I can go grab one and go. So what I liked about this model here was variable speed, lock-on switch. Super simple. I can adjust my speed. I can get to where I want to be. It sits nice. It's got little places so it won't roll, and it's not sitting on the battery. One thing that it doesn't do is stand up. And it doesn't matter if I have the small 18-volt battery on it or if I put on the larger 36-volt. Either way, not going to stand up. I don't need to stand the tool up, but I'll tell you, I just like it. Sometimes when I'm working on something, set it there. I know it's going to stay. Pick it up. Not as safe, obviously, because I could hit it and it would knock over. But either way, one of my things that I dislike. What I do like about it is how you grab the tool. And this, you can grab it any way you'd like. Put the switch on either side. I tend to like to use this more this way, where it's slender. I can get my hand in here and I can work. That's the way I grab onto it. Right hand slides this on. Bottom side is where my variable speed is. Then I can have this piece to protect the battery when I lay it down and it's on something hot or wherever it is. I like that about this. Realistically, it's just a normal die grinder. But with that said, let's dive into it, do some using with it, see what it's got for power. So if you use this guy for grinding, you have 5 speeds on here that range from 7,000 all the way up to 29,000 RPMs on 5. Now you can go to the auto mode, and then when you click this on, it will start up at 15,000 RPMs, and when it detects a load, it'll go up to 29,000. Let's check that out. Grind away at this bolt a little here. So it needs quite a bit of load to actually go up and work. This is junk, don't worry about it. So let's just try it again and listen. So that feature is nice, especially for starting out, getting you into something. Once you put a little pressure on, ramps up the tool. Make sure the tool that you're using, or the accessory on the end, is capable of those RPMs. But that portion is absolutely awesome and something I don't have on my corded model. This part here is a little bit of what drives me insane, that this dude will not stand up, because this is the perfect place to kind of let it stand and switch something over. Doesn't happen, and not that it's a huge deal, but again, it's just one of those things where I think I would appreciate if it did stand up a little bit and allow me to work on the end. I got this guy set on 3. Let's just check out power-wise how we got here on this flat surface with the flat disc. All the power in the world. Here we are again, and sure it'd be nice if this guy stood up. The Dewalt seems to handle low RPMs in power pretty good if we just hit this and just really light. I mean, I can just sit and scrape with this thing, zero issue. Now if I take the Milwaukee and I have it on level 1 here, and I just want to go super slow, I get cutout. And not that it's, I got to get the speed up in order not to. Not that that's a huge deal, it's just part of the gig. So I have a larger wire wheel on here. We're going to drop this guy down to 1, and let's lock her on and just see what happens. Cutout. I've noticed if there's any little wrong thing in this, turning this on, it's not happy. And it's not happy turning this on at this point. Let's go up to 2. 3, 4. There we go. Huh. It's interesting. That's way too fast for this on auto. And even on 4. Can't get her to go. That's sad, because this is what I need this for. Come on, baby. Could be too heavy for it, because it does have a soft start. Good there. Max of 20,000 RPMs in this guy, so we're going to stay low. So here's 7,000. Started. That's me turning it off. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I know we're at the max diameter. Let's try this again on 1. This is something that I would normally use this with, just to kind of clean up. Pushing harder than I normally would, trying to get it to cut out. Cut out, but that again is this kind of a nice safety thing there. Let's see if it turns back on. That was my whole goal, get it to cut out, see if it'll turn back. No issue. Another cutout, which I wanted. Again. So when you're using this, obviously the less pressure, you're letting the tool do the work. Plenty of gusto on level 1. Very controllable. Move it up a little bit. And we went the wrong way on that one. Again, 20,000 max. You got to be real careful with these wire wheels. But either way, I can zip through speeds 1 through 3, zero issue on this. It was odd that we had that little weird section. I'm just assuming that this is a little bit too large for it, and when it gets the soft start on the brushless motor, it then says, hey, I have too much going on, and turns itself off. Very normal with these things. Really tighten this guy up. Helps if you go the right way. And you can get that to happen with the Milwaukee. I mean, I can turn this on. I mean, I can put a finger on it and almost stop it. So normal with these things, and it's the soft start. Either way, not bad for what it is. It's large, not going to get into small areas. I like the variable speed. I wish it stood up. You know, I mean, it's one of those things where if I'm in the Metabo HPT line, I don't want to get into a different line. I now have a die grinder that I can get into. The instructions say that they have a paddle switch model that's out there, not variable speed. I think the variable speed is more important because it allows me to use a larger variety of tools. Either way, very cool. So that was a really odd problem with this wire wheel, and we are right at the max diameter for that, but I'm on level 1. There is quite a bit of vibration that this sends through, and there we go again. There's got to be a safety that's in here that is not happy with the startup on that. Not sure what's going on. But either way, it does start multiple other tools. This may disappoint a lot of people and steer you away from it, but I have to be honest about it. And I think that that's one of the things that just makes me wonder why, if there's a soft start on something like this that could be used for something that's a bit larger. If we go back, let's turn this on zero issue. Don't know, pretty heavy compared to most. You know, it's like I said, normally used in our electric ones. Little different. Maybe this isn't going to work well for that. I'm going to find out long term on this one and let you know. So ask your questions below. It wouldn't steer me away from this die grinder, I guess, as long as I wasn't using it for anything larger than this wire wheel. And with that said, if you're using it with this wire wheel, you might get disappointed simply because it won't turn it on all the time. It's not happy with something in that slow start. If you hear it, it just kind of gets her going and says too much little pressure there. Although this guy is a very similar weight, just not the diameter, and it has no issue with that one. Don't know. Part of the wonder of tool reviews and what goes on inside some of these electronics, just to see what happens. But I'll tell you, this little dude is going to be used pretty hard, and I will continue to update in the comments below as how we get through some of the winter with these wire wheels, because with the plows and everything else that we have, this is one of our main things that we use to clean things up, and this is going to be dedicated to wire wheels. So should be very, very interesting. Comments below. Leave your like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.